Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on February the 25th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So overall, the biggest thing was the testimony from Powell. And in terms of what he said, he kind of stayed with what we had discussed before. They're going to continue the monetary policy support. And there were concerns about inflation. Becoming too much because there's so much money being injected into the economy, which will push the price of everything up. So inflation concerns were something that, or they're still something that the investors worry about. However, Powell said that that is not a concern that the Fed is, or that's not something that the Fed is concerned about at this point. So he kind of squashed that. But overall, they're going to continue providing the support. So because of that, it's negative for the US dollar. Anytime there is too much supply of the currency, it is bad for the strength of the currency. Good for the stock market, though. This is why we have seen the stock market go up as a result of that, because basically they're getting a continuation of the support from the Fed, as well as they're likely to get a stimulus. So all in all, good for stock market, not that great for US dollar. All right, so coming up on Thursday here, nothing major here. We do have Reserve Bank of New Zealand Governor Orr speaking, but again, the monetary policy statement has already come out, so we are not too concerned about this. We do have employment claims here, or unemployment claims here, and pending home sales numbers. These could have an impact on the market. There's preliminary GDP number for the quarter as well. Now, it is expected to come in higher than the previous one, which will be a positive thing for the US dollar. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, so let's move on to the charts here. Euro dollar, we did see that initial drop like we had expected, but based on the Powell's comments there, price has moved up. Now it is right into the resistance. So we do have a bullish candle close here, but price is right into the resistance. So we have to be careful here. So bias for this one is neutral. So if price fails to go through the resistance, we are still looking for that move back towards 1.2080 here. So bias right now is neutral as long as price holds below 1.2175 level. We're likely to see a drop back towards 1.2080. So neutral bias here for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one did go up, but we had talked about this big move up, this inefficient move up. And as we can see here, these type of inefficient moves get filled. So price did try another leg higher, but failed. So now this is looking bearish here. So we're likely to see a move back. So in this case, looking for a move down towards the first target will be the bottom of this candle, which is 1.4075. And then second target is 1.40, 1.40, I would say, or 1.3980. So bias here is neutral to bearish here for pound dollar. Aussie here, Australian dollar went up with all the positive talk about more money being injected into the economy. That is always good for the stock market. And when stock market goes up, commodity currencies tend to go up here as well. And that's what we have seen. So in this case, because there was a lot of volatility in the market, some of these moves can get undone. So watch out for that. We do see that price went through the resistance here. However, what could happen here is this is what we need to pay attention to. I'm looking for a pullback towards 0.7930. If it holds above this, then we're likely to see a move higher. But what happens is if it drops through this level here, then essentially we're looking for a move back into these previous support resistance levels here. So the today's high is key. If it doesn't go through today's high or doesn't hold above today's high and goes through the support, looking for a move back down then. So right now, neutral bias, even though we have a bullish candle close, I am neutral on Aussie dollar here. New Zealand dollar, big move up. So part of this was to do with the monetary policy from New Zealand, part of it to do with Powell. And again, we have an inefficient move here. So these inefficient moves, just like we saw in pound there, these tend to get filled. So I'm looking for a move back down towards 0.7400. And this is where if it holds above this level, then we could see another leg higher. But once it drops through this, we are basically back into this previous support resistance level here. So the key level to watch here would be 0.7400. So going back to the daily chart, this is where the 0.7400 level is. And if it goes through this, we're looking for a move lower here. And target here, first target is 0.7400, then 73.80, and then 73.50 here. So once it crosses over, basically this whole move is likely to, this whole candle is likely to get to reverse. So we'll keep an eye on that. Dollar CAD here, nice drop here. This is this one here, we were seeing price was struggling with this support resistance level here. It finally made it through, and now we do have a bearish candle close here. So in this case, bias still remains to the downside. Just keep in mind, if all the other currencies turn around for against the dollar, this is likely to do the same as well, because they tend to move together. But for the time being, based on the technicals here, bias is bearish. Next target is 1.2480, then 1.2450. So bearish bias here, just with caution. Euro pound here, big move to the downside, went right into the support level, and it has bounced off. In this case, looking for a bit of a pullback, but then a further move to the upside here. So something like this. So bias right now is neutral, and I'm looking for a further move, neutral to bullish, I would say. Target here is, okay, first target is 0.8630, then 0.8660. Euro Swiss franc here, we have seen another leg higher here. A lot of momentum to the upside. This candle is smaller, so it seems like we may be hitting some sort of a bit of a resistance here, which makes sense because we are into this big huge level here, big support resistance level in this area here. So we are at close to 1.1060. So this is actually quite important here. So if price does not go through this level, we are looking for a reversal here. So I'd be keeping my eyes peeled for a reversal. We could see a move back, and we could see this move filled. So looking at the 1 hour chart, it looks a little choppy. So I'm looking for a move towards a 1.10 here. So bias here is neutral, and if it holds below the high here, looking for a drop. First target is 1.10, and then we're looking at 1.0980. So neutral bias here for Euro Swiss franc. Pound Swiss franc, this one here as well, we could see price turn around. Yeah, this looks a little, this looks like it wants to turn here. So basically looking for a drop back into the support level here towards 1.2750. So bias here is neutral. Watch out for that drop. So target is 1.2750 here for pound Swiss franc. Dollar Swiss franc, this is also into a major support resistance level. This is where price had done a back test and then dropped. So now we are back there, and I will look for a move back down here again. So look out for a bit of a retest and then a drop. First target is 0.9050 here, and then second target is 0.9020. So neutral bias here for dollar Swiss franc. Pound yen, big move to the upside here with the stock markets doing really well today. Yen crosses have done well as well. Yen tends to weaken when the stock market goes up. So that's what we have seen here. So in this case, bias is bullish, but again, watch out for volatility here. So if the stock market drops, we are likely to see this one drop here as well. So in this case, bullish bias with caution though. Next target is 150.60 and then 151. But in this case here as well, looking at the 1 hour chart, we see this huge move to the upside. Now, what we need to keep in mind here is if price doesn't go through here, we're likely to see a move back down. So this inefficient move up could get filled. So the important thing to keep in mind here would be the high. Now, once the price crosses over, it could make another leg higher before it turns around. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't look quite ready yet, so we need to give it some time. But right now, it is right into resistance. 150.60 is the first target, 151 the next target. So bullish bias here for pound yen. Euro yen here as well, this is looking bullish as well, and it broke through this resistance. So next target here is 129.20, and then we could see a turnaround. But right now, bullish bias, and this is where it's into major support resistance level. So I would watch out this level at 129.20, but till then, bullish bias here for euro yen. Dollar yen here, this is also looking bullish. We see that price had a nice move today. It was bullish yesterday. Now looking for price to move higher into the support resistance level at 106.20. So bias is bullish, but then we are likely to come into trouble here. This is where it had dropped from. And we could see a similar, because the move up is similar, so we could see a similar decline as well. And this is what happened previously as well. So watch out for a repeat of that at the high. So something like this, that's what I'd be careful about. All right, so bias here is bullish, 106.20, and then caution here. And once it goes through, 106.50 is the next one, next target. Aussie yen, another big move higher here. So bullish bias still. And now we are into an interesting support resistance level. So this is a major support resistance level. Watch out for a potential move lower here, potential reversal. So I would keep that in mind. Right into the 84.50 level. If it doesn't go through this 84.50 level, we could see a turnaround because again, like I said, that's a major level. So if it fails, we're looking for this move to get reversed here. So in terms of our 1 hour, this one's not too inefficient. So it could still continue. It's just similar to this one here. It could continue higher. So what could happen here is it starts to consolidate sideways like it did here. If it holds here, then it's likely to go higher. But once it drops through this 84.20, basically we could see a reversal. But problem here is it's right into that major support resistance level. And generally when it's such a big level, we tend to see a reaction at that level. So neutral bias here, neutral to bullish bias for Aussie yen. New Zealand yen, quite a move, went right through our target here all the way into the high. So again, we are into a major support resistance level. Haven't seen this level since 2018, September of 2018. So in this case, let's take a quick peek. We have a bit of an inefficient move, just this one here. So watch out for a reversal of this move. And then once price comes into this support level, this is where we'll have to be careful. So it has to get through this. And then this is where it could bounce off and go up further. So watch out for this level, which is 78.40. So right now, bias is bullish, just with caution here again, because we are into some major levels. Aussie yen here looking quite bullish. And again, zooming out here, price is into, again, major level here. Now, there is another level higher, which is important here. So this one could go through this. 85.20 is the target. So bullish bias, again, I would watch out here with caution because this is a big level. If it fails, we're looking for this inefficient move to get filled here. So going back to the 1 hour chart here, this one's not too bad. this one's not quite as inefficient, so this one could continue here. So we'll keep an eye. So bias is bullish with caution here. Pound New Zealand. A big move to the downside, and a lot of that had to do with the strength in New Zealand dollar here. So bias here is bearish. The concern would be it's into some major support level, not major, but into support level here. So in this case, what I'm looking for is a pullback into 1.9080 and then move back down here. So bias here is bearish. The thing to watch here would be this support level at 1.8 or 1.90. If it holds above here, again, this move could get reversed here. So let's take a quick peek. Yeah, that's quite an inefficient move here. So I will look for price to go all the way into 1.9070 potentially. Watch out for this one here. Right around a 1.9045-ish level here. It could bounce off of this level to the downside, but right now, yeah, I will look for a pullback towards 1.9075. So bias here is bearish with caution. Euro New Zealand, another big move to the downside. Just before we zoom out here, again, another inefficient move. So I'm looking for price to come back into 1.6410 level. And then if it holds here, we're looking for another drop. Then we'll see a continuation. But prior to that, looking for that inefficient move to get filled. So 1.6410 is the first pullback level. And then in terms of target here, we are into some, again, coming into some major support level here. Target is 1.6280. So bias is bearish with caution. EuroCAD here, this one's also looking bearish. Again, we are into some major support resistance levels here. This one, I guess, could continue. It's not as big a level as some of the other ones there. So bearish bias, first target is 1.52, then 1.5150. Pound CAD here, quite a move here in both directions. We saw a big move higher, and this is what we had talked about, how these type of moves can get reversed. And as we can see, it did get reversed and continued lower. Now, bias is bearish here. And in this case, first target is 1.7650. I'd watch out at that level. And then 1.7620, so bearish bias for pound CAD. Euro Aussie here, this is also looking bearish. Now we have gone through this major level. It's holding below there. So still bearish bias here. And next target for this one, oh, we are already at target. So 1.5150. So bearish bias here. I'm gonna move this lower here. So bearish bias for Euro Aussie. Pound Aussie here, bias is bearish. We see a big move to the downside here. Price has been trading in a range for a while here, and it's finally been able to break through this range. It's holding below this now. So I'm looking for a bit of a pullback here and then a drop. So pullback can go all the way into 1.7790, or it may just go where it is currently at 1.7780 level here. So looking for a pullback and then another drop, and target here is 1.7700. Second target is 1.7665. So bias here is bearish for pound Aussie. Silver here, this one is holding. Price has gone in both directions here. It's holding above this 27.20 level. So now I'm looking for a move towards 28.30, but it could get stuck here. So watch out for that. Once it gets through this resistance though, then we have room to the upside here all the way into 28.85. So right now bias is bullish, but watch out for 28.30. Once it gets through, 28.85 will be the next target. Gold here, gold is neutral. In this case, we see price has not been able to break through this 1816 level. It did go retested, but then held below. So we may get a move lower here towards 1783. Again, with this one, because it's a neutral candle close for the day, this one could go in either direction. If it does break through, then there's plenty of room to the upside. But for now, this seems to be stuck in a range. So looking for a move lower here towards 1783. So neutral bias, neutral to bearish bias here for gold. Oil here, oil looking quite bullish with all the positive things being said by the Fed and positive basically sentiment in the market. Oil still looking bullish here. In terms of the target here, we're looking at 64 as the first target and 64.75 as the second target for oil. So bullish buys for oil here. Copper looking extremely bullish here. It's gone right through our target here. And in this case, 4.35 is the first target, and then 4.4 is the next target. So bias is still bullish here for copper. Bitcoin here. Bitcoin's moved back and forth here, but it is still struggling with that previous support resistance level here at 50,680-ish level. With this one here, again, if it fails to go through this 50,000 level, we could see a drop back down towards 44,850. So right now, bias is neutral. It's in this sideways range here. If it goes through the resistance, then we will aim for the high. But if it fails to break through this 50,675 level, we're looking for a move lower. And in this case, once it breaks through, we could basically see a continuation lower. So we'll have to see how this one plays out here. Right now, this is neutral. S&P 500 with the Fed or with the Powell's testimony here, we did see an uptick in the markets. It is looking bullish right now. The concern would be this inefficient move here. So price has gone up, but now the problem is price is into support resistance level, and this inefficient move here could get filled. It could reverse. So be careful with that one. So right now, I would say bias is bullish with caution, though. If it doesn't break through this 39.35 level, we are basically looking for a move back down towards the support at 38.50. So neutral to bullish bias here for S&P 500. NASDAQ here, same thing. We saw price turn around, and right now it's into resistance. If it fails to go through this level, we are looking for a move lower again towards 12,740. So right now, neutral to bullish bias. If it goes through this resistance, then it becomes bullish and will target 13,520. But until then, this is neutral here. So neutral to bullish bias here for NASDAQ. Dow Jones here, this fund finally broke through this resistance here. It got pushed higher, looking bullish here. We could get a pullback before it goes up further. So keep an eye for this type of a move back towards 31,775. If it holds above, we will look for a continuation move higher here. So bullish bias for Dow Jones. DAX here, this one as well bounced back up. So we do have a nice bullish candle close. Again, the concern is we are right into this support resistance level here. And this is where if it doesn't go through, it can turn around. But for now, because the bias is bullish, we'll look for price to go towards the top of the range here. So this is the range it's been trading in for the last few weeks. It is right in the middle. So looking for a move higher. Towards 14,150, and then it may come back into the range. So we'll look out for that. For now, though, bias is bullish. FTSE, this one as well, price held above the support level, and we have a nice bullish candle close here. Again, it is into support resistance level, so watch out for that. In this case, I'm looking for a pullback towards 66.35. And then if it holds back, move back towards 67.90. So bias here is bullish, just with caution for FTSE as well. Nikkei here, Nikkei also came back down to retest the support, held, now looking for a move towards the top of the range, 30,650. So bullish bias. Watch out for this though. We have a trend line here and price may bounce off of that trend line. Keep that in mind, but for now, bias is bullish. Once it gets through the trend line, target is 30,650 here. So bullish bias for Nikkei, again with caution because the trend line is sitting right there. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.